Hey guys, you want to get better? This is what you're going to do. You have to have the grip correct. So I'm going to go over in complete detail, not just the grip, but also what happens if you grip it certain ways. And this is going to be eye-opening for some, cause and effects. As many Zoom lessons and as many membership sites and all the things that I do on a daily basis, the way that you hold your hands affects how the wrist bones work, or how the forearms rotate, where the club is on plane or not, 1000%, okay? Then we can get into, once you get this and once you get the club swinging, then we can get into the rotation of the body through the feet, the knees, and the pelvis. That's the sequence. That's how I teach most people, because most people do not have a correct grip. 99.9%. Remember I say you say what you think you're doing are two different things? Well, the number one reason is because you do not have a correct grip and how your arms hang. So I'm going to get into that, and then I'll also throw in a little bit of like a pre-shot routine so you can kind of feel it and kind of tie it all together, okay? So I'm going to do that this video. Then my next video is going to be all uphill, downhill, side hill lies, and how you have to make your spine match it and when you're swinging with a compound pivot, okay? So let's go ahead and get into the grip, and the grip is going to be super key here on how the hands, they just hang ideally. This is a natural position where your arms are hanging and the wrist bones go up and down. Now I'm gonna go into complete detail, so I know detail, and every little detail matters, okay? So in an ideal grip, you're going to have the golf club in the second phalanx, which is that's the joint, what it's called, right in between, or we could say joints, okay? Look, 1, 2, 3, you wanna have it here. You wanna lie it lies directly across until it goes right into the crest of this top of the pinky here. When you do that, and then this pad is on top. Now, for all of those right here, when you grip it here, you'll notice that I choked down a little bit right here. This pad has to be on top. This is one of the most important things that people miss big time. Because if you grip it at the end right here, it's now in the palm. Even though they were all in the correct position before, now your wrist bone will have a hard time setting the club and the forearm rotating. So you will not have control. There's some that will put it towards the end, but will put it at the end, but this grip end, and this is borderline. This is like you're dancing on the landmines right here, okay? You're really, 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 really close to being in the palm. Look at the difference of here, because, and people may not know this, but the bell of the club is thicker right here. So you want to grip under the bell of the club. When you do that, now your hands can make this rotation, okay? Which this is putting the golf club as a semicircle, 90-degree angle, okay? So when you're doing that, you've got this feeling of the golf club going here and here. Now, all I'm going to do, and this is why every little detail matters, if you just turn your hand a fraction to the left, this will now not hinge correctly to allow the wrist to have maximum flexion. That doesn't mean that you can't then make a matchup where when you swing back, that the club face now will be shut and you're gonna have to block it down the target line. You can do that, but that's why it's happening. And what happens is, so when this turns, it's the forearm that now cannot rotate. And then if you do grip it weak and rotate your forearm, now you're in a world of hurt, because now you really can't recover, because now the forearm's rotated, the golf club is off plane. Okay, look, I'm just telling you what I see. You could not believe the amount of incorrect grips and rotations that I see. And again, you guys don't see what you think you're doing are two different things. So the more and the weaker that you grip it this way, the more the hand will go under. It's the reason why Jordan Spieth struggles with his driver. His grip is too weak, his club face gets a little shut, and he's trying to get the golf club up in the right place, where all he has to do is just grip it just a fraction stronger and get a little cup in the wrist, just fractional, and then he could release it. I digress. Okay, so from here, now let's go the other way. So when you go stronger, now you'll see that the forearm is rotated more. Well, that also has a tendency to lock that joint a little bit. Now, when this happens here, the golf club can rotate this way, but it'll be stuck this way. You'll be kind of impinged because the forearm will lock. When the grip is too strong, the forearm locks, and you'll see that you can't really bend the elbow here. So why is this real important? Because when the grip is correct, where the hand does this, the forearm rotates and the elbow bends. See, the elbow bends a little bit right here. Okay, now everybody's gonna say, well, I see every golf pro straight. Well, one, you're not a golf pro, but so never ever try to do what a golf pro does. You know, you're not that. But this is actually extended, not rigid. So don't, if you turned off this part, because I pitched off, sorry. But look, this is what people are thinking that you're seeing. And this is locking. Can you see how that's locking the joint? Now from here, it's really difficult to get this golf club to be on the position of the plane. Don't talk to me about Bryson DeChambeau. I know what he does. I know he does one plane. I know he goes external and internal and does all the forearms and all that stuff. That ain't you, okay? So I'm trying to get you guys to be as natural as possible, where the hand and forearm rotates freely. See how that works? That's how this will work optimally, right? Now you're like, well, it's not just that, because once you put this here with it, then, now watch, then you can move your feet and your hips and all of that stuff, and you can see where my golf club goes. Look, it rotated correctly, and I didn't have to think about it. So I'm on plane. You can say my left hand and the club face matches, the shaft matches the arm, and all that happens, okay? You don't have to think about it if your hands are correct. But as soon as you put this here and you lock this, now you've locked all this. You've locked your lats up here, locked your elbow joint, locked your wrist joint, and now you have a golf club. And watch, I'm gonna lock all my joints and make the motion that I make, and you'll see that I'll be off plane and behind the golf club. So, and that's what causes a lot of people lays off the golf club, okay? So the stronger that you get this way, the more rotation that you're gonna have this way off the ball. The arm's gonna be locked, and so you're gonna come from the inside. You're gonna turn the hand down, and you're gonna see, so if I can go from here, you can see how that club will then be a hook and come from the inside out, and that's why the stronger grip does that, okay? But it's just a manipulation of things. Now this is just the left hand. So once we get into this, the left hand could be correct, and now the right hand. And I mean, God, if I had to say it, 95% grip the club too strong in the right hand. And I'm not really sure what that's about, other than maybe, you know, you guys, this feels like you just want to hammer it and hit it. But what happens is the wrist bone is set to the side. So when it's set to the side, now we have this angle of the forearm can't rotate. This elbow can't bend. Right? Now, doesn't mean that you can't be in an incorrect position. You can see how that is, and then try to figure out a way to get there and then bend the elbow in, right? And now we have a golf club that doesn't have any width and all of that. So this hand has to be on top. So let's talk about exactly where it's supposed to be, okay? It's going to be in the second joint, okay? Second joint right there in the finger. So you got 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. That's why it's like 2, so no problem. So the pinky And I'm probably the only golf pro that I know of that says I really prefer 1000% the overlap grip because it promotes softness in the hands. Let me explain. When you lock your fingers in, okay, I'm coming in close so you can see this. When you lock the fingers in, you could lock it in and put it in the second joint and put your hand here. But the problem of it is now you can take this, and I don't know if you kind of can see it, and I haven't been working out as much because I've been doing too many golf lessons. But you see, look, when I'm squeezing, you can see how the forearms are going. When you put this pinky right on top, it's real hard now to squeeze. Now you've got to squeeze just the left hand. So you can't just squeeze. See, I'm just squeezing these fingers here, which makes then the forearms fire up. So when you do this, that's why that puts it here. Now, one more little detail. Try not to put it in the groove. When you put it in the groove, and it's very slight, that's why I'm coming in real close. Can you see how my right hand wants to raise? And you can even see kind of how that muscle fires. So you want the hand to be second here and then on top. And one other little thing, not a little thing, people put pressure on the thumb with this pad. You have to stop doing that. So when this hand is here and the thumb is on top, this thumb, it almost wants to feel like it comes loose. It's so light. Okay, and I'm not letting go of the grip, so I don't need to have all the bazillion comments saying I'm letting go of the grip. It's just that light that the pressure goes in that thumb. Now, why is that? Because if I squeeze this pad on top, like this, can you see what it does to my right arm? So you're putting pressure and tension in the golf club, okay? So once you're here in this position, now your hand can be able to bend backwards like this. And if it is here, now the forearm can't rotate. And it'll rotate, the wrist bone won't move, see? So now the golf club is gonna be what I call laid off or wide open, behind you, elbow joint over bends, etc. So now put your right hand more on top, which this is not near as common a problem, but some people do it. And then now you're going to lock your forearm and arm this way, and now it's impossible for you to set the golf club. Okay, just like that. So these are all issues that are going to cause this. So you just want to have it in the simplest terms. They're like, oh, good Lord, that's a lot. Okay, so from right here, once you get your grip correct, then you just put it on your shoulder and then put it straight down in front of you. Every single person that does this, and you can close your eyes and you can see where it is, it's going to be right in the middle of my body because this is a place where you're in perfect balance and a perfect circle to swing the golf club. There's not one person that I know of that will do this, okay? So no, the left arm and the shaft does not stay in one line like this. If you do this, then you will be tilted behind it, okay? And I know Phil Mickelson said that every single person that grips up like this is setting up for success to do this, right? He's Phil Mickelson. He's done it for a long time. He's tilted his body like this and learned how to hit it from here, okay? Is it a manipulation? Yes, it is. He's great. He's world class, right? But to say that that is anatomically correct is incorrect, right? So from right here, I can't make a circle. My golf club, if I lean the shaft forward, will open my shoulders. I have to tilt and make compensations. He does, okay? The golf club will go inside. He has a tendency to take it inside and go up and reroute. Again, world class, not you, okay? So get it here and put it here. I know that's a lot. Now, pre-shot routine. And I do have this a little bit in the way, sorry. So I can swing. So this is what I do every single time just to make sure that my hands are in the proper working order. I grip my golf club never on the ground because you can twist your hands all over the place. So I get my grip up in my left hand. You can hold your right hand on it first, put your left hand on it. Okay, I don't have to do it because I can literally I can catch it in the air now and put it in the right hand or in the correct grip. But it takes about 6 months, by the way, to master a grip. sorry, there's no easy shortcuts in golf, right? People think there's a secret. There's no secret. You want to get better quick. It's not going to happen. You have to put in the details and the practice, and even like when Mike Austin said that you're dealing with nerves, which is like training wild animals, right? So I use that quote because it's very, very, very true. So I get my left hand grip where I told you before, and I'll just make one little pass up here where the shaft is level and the wrist goes up and up like that. I'll do that 1 or 2 times. Then I'll put my right hand with the pinky where it's supposed to go and the second phalanx, the joint. Then I'll put it on top, and then I'll do that again 1 or 2 times just to get the feel. All right, I have no impingements, great, okay? So now I can put the club down here. Now I know I'm in the right spot, and now I can make my swing, and now I know that my hands are gonna be in the right spot. Now how do I know they're in the right spot? I bring them back down in front of me, I put them here, they didn't change. Now check that out. So I'm right here at the top of my golf swing, fully wound up, big rotation, etc., etc. Here, here, my hands didn't change. Come through the ball, finish, here, here, you can see my hands didn't change. Because all they're doing is cocking this way as they're rotating with the body. All right, so all that is how I then do those little bit. Then I just walk into the shot, put the club down, visualize my shot, and then go. So that's how it works for me. All right, so I know I carried through a lot. You guys come see me. I am giving live lessons at Country Hills Golf Course in Hendersonville, Tennessee. You can check out my website, rkswingking.com, where I do Zoom lessons for people all over the world, and it's been a lot of fun helping people. And of course, I have a membership site where you send me a couple of videos a week. I do a diagnosis, I make a little personal video for you, and get you on your way playing your best golf. All right? I hope everybody has a great day.